But Johnny, let's move on into our last topic. And this is a topic that, let's be honest, we've shelved this one for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we had 4. And I was like, the time we're dealing with.
We just didn't have time.
Let's push it
for recording
to next week. Then last week, I felt like I didn't want to do 4. We pushed it again this week. This week, we're finally going to do it. And ABC is going to have a Marvel TV show that is going to be female-led. So basically, here's the question I'm asking you.
Yes.
You being the Marvel guy,
yes,
you're our bread and butter here. Me being the DC guy, I
am bread and butter.
I can give my takes, but really you are our Marvel expert here on the Rick and Johnny podcast. ABC, new Marvel TV show featuring and starring a female heroine.
Ooh.
Who should it be? Who from the Marvel heroines should get their own TV show on ABC?
Okay, well, we have to start by just stating a few little things. Process of elimination, basically. We're going to get rid of anything, since it's ABC, we're going to get rid of anything Fox. Mm-hmm. So that takes out all your X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And then it comes down to, do we have rights to use Spider-Man?
That's the thing. Will Sony let them use the Spider-Verse?
Yes, exactly. Now, if we let's just sit. I'm going to go with the theory that they said yes because of the contract they have. Let's just go with the theory they say yes, since everything we're doing right now is speculation, right? Yes. So I mean, just to start off, before we even get Spider-Versing, we have She-Hulk.
She's in my mind, she's the high one, because even I want to go further on your process of elimination of. Yeah, you can get rid of Fox. You might be able to get rid of Spider-Man. We don't know
if that one's the gray area.
If Sony's going to let them use over. If they do, Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen could be one that they look to.
Black Cat is even one.
Black Cat. But isn't Sony making a movie about Black Cat?
Yes.
Here's another thing, and that's what I bring into. I feel like any female character that is heavily portrayed in the movies already, they're not going to use them.
Completely agree.
So Scarlet Witch is gone. Black Widow I'm going to get to in a second.
We're going to put Black Widow on a shelf over here.
I think she's out, although I have a side thing of why I think she shouldn't be.
That's why I'm putting her on the shelf for now.
But you got Black Widow that's in
Gamora
the movies
can't
already.
Be in it.
Gamora. Wasp. I mean,
Captain Marvel,
Captain Marvel, she is getting her own movie. That's it. But you have Inhumans, so you're not going to use Medusa. You have Daredevil, the
so you can't,
TV show, so you're not going to use Elektra.
Or Jessica Jones even.
Well, Jessica Jones, I think, is the obvious. She has her own show
Exactly.
already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why you're not going to use her. I'm just stating it out there so they remember.
And the thing is, apparently ABC, in the headlines, people are saying they're trying to develop their own Jessica Jones-esque show featuring a female lead. And to me, based on all of this, I feel like She-Hulk is the front runner. My only question is, will people want to watch a She-Hulk TV show?
I mean, I think it could be entertaining, especially if you could start the season off or somewhere in there. If you don't start it off right off with her origin story and just kind of jump in and have it She-Hulking.
Yeah.
You eventually do one episode with an origin story, and if you can get Ruffalo in there for just a cameo.
Screw that. We'll get Lou Ferrigno.
Or Lou Ferrigno. No. The reason I say that is because the origin story I know for She-Hulk is she is in a bad accident. That she's cousins with Bruce Banner, right? So what happens is she gets into an accident where she needs a blood transfusion. Only person that can give it to her is Bruce Banner.
So she gets the gamma radiation blood.
Exactly. And she becomes She-Hulk. So, I mean, if you get Ruffalo to cameo in that, because if it's that closely connected to the universe, or you don't need him, you just reference him and say, hey, how did I survive? Oh, your cousin donated blood to you.
Or, and this is the big or, and this is where Black Widow comes in.
Okay, yeah, no, I was agreeing with.
Or,
I was just setting up how we can do She-Hulk.
My thing with She-Hulk is the popularity around her. I don't know if there will be enough people. Maybe the Marvel population will be all rallied for it. Let's be honest, it's a Marvel product.
Exactly.
If you're a diehard Marvel fan, you're going to watch it. But let's say either the people like myself, who I'm DC, but I dabble in Marvel.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
Don't tell them, Ricky.
She-Hulk is not one of she's not one of the heroes I'm getting up for, basically.
Okay.
And there's been times where, like in video games, I'll play as She-Hulk. But if there's a She-Hulk television show, I'm going to be honest, I'll only watch it because we'll probably talk about it.
Exactly.
That will be the only reason I watch it. I will not go out of my way to be like, I got to catch every episode of She-Hulk. Unless it's really good. They could prove me wrong. And then it's like, you know what, put my shoe in my mouth. Or they can go around, because I know someone might have already commented about it. Hey, guys, and this is different because the TV show came first.
Yes.
Hey, guys, what if they do the TV series like DC is, where you have the DCEU, but then you also have the Arrowverse? Two completely different things.
That's true.
They're not even related. And then you can go that way, because we technically have the Flash in the DCEU and the Flash in the Arrowverse.
See, that's the only thing I have against saying that is Marvel tends to, at least Marvel, like Disney, Marvel, ABC, Marvel, tends to tie it in with the universe.
Plus, they don't have the Time Force.
Yeah, but
you can, if you wanted to, like, explain why are there two Flashes, Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Basically, you can say Flashpoint, and there's
which they actually,
many
spoilers,
universe.
they actually did in the Flash.
Yes, they did.
TV series.
They did.
But no, I mean, Marvel.
But that's why I wanted to bring up Black Widow, because I think a Black Widow TV show. Here's the yes and no to a Black Widow TV show. I think it'd be awesome to see the side of how she became who she is.
The Red Room.
Yes, the Red Room and everything that she did. However, the way I would want to see that, can't have it on ABC. Can't have it on ABC primetime.
The way you would want to see it, absolutely not. You are correct. But they could still do that storyline.
They could, but the way I would want to see it is totally.
It'd probably need to be more of an HBO.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I want to see it as true to I am, HBO series is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, I can agree with you. But that would be another cool one to do an offshoot of. Is do a young Black Widow. Do her storyline of like in the how she came to the Red Room, how she was part of the Red Room, all other little like sub storylines of like learning things after the Red Room a little bit until like from there up until she joins Shield.
Yeah.
So I'm
like, don't worry, Johnny, you'll get it.
Even even like an interaction with a young Clinton Barton would be cool. But to keep going, I mean, we said no Captain Marvel is because the reason, I mean, I've said in the Captain Marvel one that we did, she used to be Miss Marvel. I think I mentioned that in there. And I don't know why they changed it, but now I remember because they turned her into Captain Marvel because they have a new Miss Marvel. Yeah. Which is a younger girl with superpowers. I believe it's kind of like a stretching thing, and I forgot what other ones are intertwined with it. But be that as it may, that could be on her.
So you're saying, like, and
potentially, these are all just potential ones.
I want to throw one out at you because you joked about her before we recorded.
I'll be honest, I was half joking about that.
Do you think that, like, because I believe there was a new comic issue that came out with her, do you think they maybe do a Squirrel Girl?
Honestly, if they want to go with a lighthearted route, then yes, they could do a Squirrel Girl. So I mean, I'm not going to say no. And she's, for some reason, the popularity of her has gone up. I've noticed because stuff has been coming out more and more with her. Maybe because, like you said, there may be a new comic issue with her. Yeah, I honestly don't remember.
I believe it already came out. I remember seeing some
I think you're right.
Comic with Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, but no,
Squirrel Girl. Squirrel. I mean.
Squirrel Girl. Yeah. No, yeah, with Squirrel Girl, I believe it's a possibility. Again, like I said, if they want to go the lighthearted route, trying to think of what it would be kind of like. Oh, I forgot the name of that show. That kind of the DC one that came out that made fun of if you didn't have superpowers. Powerless. Maybe the
one that got canceled.
The one that got canceled. That's not a great.
The one with Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, not the greatest.
And Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
Yes. Not the greatest example because that one got canceled, but like that kind of lightheartedness of that one.
You really liked that show.
I feel like
you were bummed it got canceled.
I was kind of bummed it got canceled. I lost track of it because of school, but no, I did like that show. I liked finally someone came out with the idea of, what happens to the people that are in the superhero universe? As I think we talked about in the car like a year or 2 years ago. Before that show came out, I should say.
Here's what I'm thinking. And I want to ask this to you, and this is more of a how you do the show type of conversation.
Okay.
Is do you make it to where it's like a powerless, where it's like you can miss a week and you'll be okay? Or do you have to do what Flash has done, Gotham has done, Arrow has done, the Netflix series has done, Game of Thrones has done, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has done, where basically it's a progressive storyline. And if you miss one, I've got to go back and watch episode 2 before I can watch episode 3.
Oh, that is a good question, and I would prefer...
Because think about the most popular shows right now.
Follow a story arc.
Follow that story arc.
I feel like you should be better off following a story arc as opposed to doing the other.
And I feel the same. And the reason why is because of the time we are in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The time that we are in right now in like TV shows and everything is... We can basically get TV anywhere.
Exactly.
We can get it on our
phone,
TVs. We can get it on our phones, on our tablets. Hell, we can even get it to where I can't watch it tonight. I can either DVR it. I can either pull it up on demand. I can, find it online for free if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of like TV shows now that don't follow a story that are very successful, that are like starting now. And I can't think of one, maybe because all the ones I watch follow stories, but like Game of Thrones, the Netflix series for Marvel, the Arrowverse, all of those, Gotham, are following a story. And I feel like in this day and age, to get people hooked, you have to have a following story to bring people back each week.
No,
because if you don't, I feel like there's so much going on, like in social media, and we're so distracted.
Everyone's lives in general.
That it's like, you know what, I'll watch it later, and then you never watch it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the problem. If you don't have a reoccurring story arc, hell, I mean, even Rick and Morty, yes, a lot of the episodes are like, well, this just happened this week. Overall, the overarching storyline, it all leads together. I mean, they may not like per week have a blatant in your face. Oh yeah, this is.
But you can link them together.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
You're trying to think of other heroes.
I am trying to think of other ones.
I want to throw 2 out at you. You being the Marvel guy, do you think they should touch either Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen?
That's the problems if they have the rights to. If they do, those would be 2 other good ones. If
Sony lets them, do you think they should go that route?
They could. I mean, it would work really well.
Not could, Johnny.
Should. I mean, if they don't have to pay for the rights for it or have to make a deal, they still have She-Hulk.
Yes.
Which is probably just as popular. I don't want to say as popular, because Spider-Gwen and Spider-Girl have both kind of risen a little bit with the Spider-Man movie and everything that came out. Whereas the other thing I was thinking about, does Universal, because I've heard there's some controversy of why they can't make a Hulk solo movie. One, they don't want to, really. But 2, Universal, I hear, has some of the rights still to Hulk.
They do.
So, I mean, do they have the rights to She-Hulk too, is the question. Which is the only other thing that kind of dampers on She-Hulk.
Is if she's tied to Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Well, not even that.
If Universal has those rights, then you can't get... Well, that's interesting, because they can use the Hulk
in the movies.
Marvel, but they can't do a solo movie?
Exactly. I mean, that's unless it's updated since then and they actually have full rights to them. They just don't want to.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Last time I checked, Universal had the rights to Hulk. But Marvel was able to use it, kind of like maybe it was that gray area with Quicksilver. Like he's in a gray area with the Fox.
Let me ask you this. Do you do kind of a little thing where maybe it's like Scarlet Witch and kind of a brother-sister show with her and Quicksilver?
That would be another one too. I mean, with our storyline in the Marvel Universe, it would have to go along the lines of how, like, from when basically Tony Stark's missile comes into their room up until they fight the Avengers. That'd be your storyline right there.
But what if they do an Arrowverse thing?
See, again, I don't see Marvel doing that because they haven't done that before. They tied everything in.
Even the Netflix series.
They tie into the universe.
They reference the universe.
Marvel is not like DC, where they seem like they want to keep everything in the same universe because A, we don't have the timeline fracture like that.
Yeah.
And they don't really deal with the timeline fracture with Avengers and stuff as much as like the X-Men do. So the X-Men have an out too. Timeline fractures, time travel, things change. And I'm just trying to see if there's any other ones that we can use. Sharon Carter, what do you think about that? Too much Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
We already had an Agent Carter.
I mean Sharon Carter, not Agent Carter.
Yeah, I feel like though it's
not young. The one that Captain America
we already
won.
tried. Like that would be similar to Agent Carter. We already tried it. It didn't work.
Cause that's the thing. I'm just trying to see if there's any bigger ones that I've missed. Cause there's a ton of heroines, but there's not popular ones.
Here's the problem that Marvel has.
Yeah,
is their main female character to me, Black Widow.
There she is.
The DC though, DC's easy. If you're saying I want a female-led
lead
DC one, you're getting a Wonder Woman series.
Yeah,
it's either there's two easy solutions on the DC side, Wonder Woman or Batgirl.
Yeah,
I would love a Batgirl. I would love a Batgirl series. I can't wait for the Joss Whedon Batgirl movie. But I feel like with Marvel, they've got all these female characters. But the big question to me is like a She-Hulk, like a Spider-Woman, like a Spider-Gwen, like even I can't remember her name, but in the article I read on Screen Rants, they talked about the female version of Hawkeye.
Like, oh, yeah. I don't know what they call her. I think she might even be Hawkeye.
Will those characters pull in audience, pull in eyeballs to it? Because
that comes down to the other thing I was thinking, but I'll let you finish your thought.
I just wanted to say, because you can, like, it's not a worry of keeping them once you have them, because if you have a good story, you have a good series, it's fun to watch, you'll keep people. But you got to get them to watch that first one first. Yeah. And I don't know if any of the ones we talked about, except for like a Black Widow, do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You got to, like, basically like the Flash series, you got to hit the ground running with that first episode or people are going to, like, kind of falter out. But there's, damn, I just had it a minute ago, and about another heroine that they could possibly go with. Just, we'll keep going with what we were talking about until it comes back. What if
they did, and this is a thought on the Marvel side, I don't even know if Marvel has a lot of female villainesses. What if they go with a villainess?
Oh, they could go with female villain.
And she, because I only think of that because I'm thinking now DC and what they can do. Yeah. Harley Quinn.
I'm trying to think if there's any, I don't know, like, offhand, any, like, top villainesses except for Madam Hydra. That's the first one that pops into my head.
Ooh, that'd be
interesting. But then you'd have, like, a whole Hydra series, which is kind of like we just going back into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I guess.
But, I mean, it could be. Could be. I'm trying to think of any others, but what I was thinking of, Marvel did in the past year and a half, revamp some of their comics. And remember, they had two of our original heroes now as female. Like, they didn't turn female. They're based female.
Is one of them American Dream?
No, but that is another one I was thinking
about.
Captain America. It was like the female version of Captain America. Yeah. But remember what they did to Thor the last 2 years?
True.
He lost his hammer and it went to a female.
The Iron Man.
Oh, female Iron Man.
How did we not think of that?
I didn't think of that till now, but
How did we not think of that? That's probably like because they just came out with that comic recently.
They did. It could follow that one. But again, like I said, I'm calling it She-Thor because Thor is not a title in my eyes.
She-Thor.
Thor is not a title in my eyes. Thor is his name.
You're also Thor's the one you bond with. So
shut the hell up. I don't need to know
why
that.
We're doing it. But I didn't even think about that. Like the Iron Man that they
revamped the comic, so now Iron Man has stepped down and there's a female Iron Man now.
Here's another one that I thought of.
Yes.
But I wouldn't do it because I don't think it would pull enough people in.
Okay.
Correct me on the name, but the society, like the guards for Black Panther. The dilemma, what are they called?
I don't know what they're called, but I know who you're talking about.
Like they're bald head. They have one of them was going to fight Black Widow in Civil War, the something a doll or something like that.
Yeah.
The Melage something. Help us in the comment section.
Yeah, please correct us because I can't even think of what they're called. I know who they're talking about.
The Melage Adore or something like that. I know I'm saying that wrong, but I think it's right. That's another one where I'm like, oh, that would be interesting and get that like Black Panther culture side of it.
Yeah. I don't know how long you're going to be able to keep a storyline running with that, especially since, like, how do you do that without, like, being in close proximity with Black Panther?
Yeah.
Unless you just get someone that never outside the suit, always Black Panther in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the only reason
unless you do, like, and I know that, and I agree with you, Marvel won't go outside. I'm just trying to say, and maybe you don't have to have it all relate to the same universe.
Again, I wouldn't mind that, but again, I just don't see Marvel doing that because of what I've seen them do in everything else. The Netflix series, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
It all had to tie in with the main universe. So, I mean, it's like I said, any of these other ones, even heck, we could have Black Widow. We could have Scarlet Witch. Who else do we miss from the Carol Danvers, Wasp? Any of them could be a Wasp. Same thing with her in the like side story type thing. But anyways, the only reason I don't see them doing any of those is because they tie things in with the main universe. Yeah. And if they do that, that becomes a discrepancy, yada, yada, yada. I use that, I think, all three times now in the podcast.
Did you use yada, yada, yada in all three segments?
The second one and the third one, definitely. Okay. Maybe the first one.
Maybe the first one. So watch out for that one. The yada, yada, yada the triple threat here for Johnny.
But yeah, they're not gonna. I don't see them doing that because they like to tie everything in with the main universe. Because we don't they don't have the timeline splits like Fox and DC. Yeah,
and this is where, and I was going to ask you for your final thoughts, but I feel like that's a good cap around it. I want to turn it on to you guys. What do you guys think? What heroine would you want to see? Should they go villainous? Which ones where you're like, man, I'd love to see, like, I would like to see a She-Hulk TV show. I don't think the popularity, and I don't think that overall, like, when I say I'd like to see it, I would like to see it in concept. Yeah. Like I said, I'd watch it only because we'll probably talk about it.
I guess that's a chance you take with making a TV series, right?
Yes, because really, like, the TV medium, you really have to, like you said, hit the ground running. Yeah. Where TV shows like Gotham, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, you have Flash. Like, look at all the Netflix catalog for Marvel with Daredevil and Jessica Jones and what they have set up. But I want to know what you guys think. Who would you like to see? Who do you think would work? What heroes would work? Let us know down below in the comment section. Also, thank you guys for checking out another Rick and Johnny podcast. Remember to go to patreon.com/most valuable podcast. $10 a month, you get to join us here on the Rick and Johnny podcast one time a month, or any other podcast here on Most Valuable Podcast you'd want to be. You can be a guest. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. That is at patreon.com/most valuable podcast. Want to thank you guys for watching and listening one more time. Johnny and I will be back next week. We'll be doing American Made. That's the movie we're seeing. And we're also going to have 3 more topics for you on the podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody.